Good morning, students. Okay. So in this class, we will see the factors affecting the angle of deviation. Okay. If you want to open your book and mark the points that I will tell, page number 84. Okay. In your book, page number 84. Factors affecting the angle of deviation. Okay. Factors affecting the angle of deviation. Angle of deviation. Okay. So there are four factors. Okay, first I'm telling what is the angle of deviation for prism. For prism, there are two refracting surfaces. Okay, one is AB, another is AC. When light will incident in this way, it will refract. Okay, here draw normal. This is angle of incidence I1. This is R1. Then draw normal here also. Okay, it will go in this direction. This is R2 and this is I2. Okay, so at surface AB, the deviation delta 1 equal to I1 minus R1, and at surface AC, the deviation is I2 minus R2. So the total deviation delta will be delta 1 plus delta 2. So delta 1 plus delta 2, if you put the values, you will get I1 plus I2 minus R1 plus R2. Now we can prove that R1 plus R2 becomes equal to A. R1 plus R2 equal to A. Okay. So it will be I1 plus I2 minus A. So this is the deviation formula. This is the deviation formula. Okay. So now we will see the factors affecting of this deviation. There are four factors in your book. Okay. So mark those points. Just after factor affecting the deviation, factor affecting the angle of deviation, 4 points are there. First point, the angle of incidence. Second point, the material of prism, that means basically refractive index. Third point, the angle of prism A, okay, angle between two refracting surfaces. And fourth point, the color or wavelength of light used. Okay, so I am explaining one by one. So first point, the angle of incidence. The angle of incidence. Okay, first point, the angle of incidence. Okay, both the angles are angle of incidence. That means I1 and I2 both are angle of incidence. Okay, you can consider, because using principle of reversibility, I2 will be angle of incidence, I1 is the angle of emergence. So we can think that I1 and I2 both are angle of incidence. Okay. So this one we cannot explain mathematically. Okay, it will be very difficult to explain. We can explain it from experimental fact. Okay, from experimental fact we can see that delta, angle of deviation, decreases with increase of angle of incidence. If we increase the angle of incidence, delta will decrease initially, and at one angle of incidence, delta will be minimum. Okay, that is minimum deviation. Okay, and then again it increases. With increase of. Okay, so first it decreases. Okay, if we increase the angle of incidence, then it first decreases, then at one angle of incidence it will be minimum. Okay, at one angle of incidence it will be minimum deviation, and then again it will increase. It is completely an experimental fact. It is written nicely in your book. Okay, page number 84. Okay, the first point, dependence of angle of deviation on the angle of incidence. Okay, first paragraph, all the things what I have written here, all are written in the first paragraph. Okay, it is experimentally observed that as the angle of incidence increases, the angle of deviation first decreases. Okay, reaches to a minimum value. Okay, for a certain angle of incidence. Okay, and then on further increasing the angle of incidence, the angle of deviation again increases. Okay, then it again increases with the increase of I. Okay, so you can get direct question. Okay, otherwise you can get graph. Okay, you can get graph. So come to the graph. Come to the graph. So graph is between delta, angle of deviation. Mark the graph one also. Angle of deviation delta, and this is the angle of incidence. Okay, the graph will look like. The graph will look like this. Okay, graph will look like this. It is completely one experimental graph. Okay, so we are getting the minimum deviation at particular angle of incidence. Okay, this minimum deviation at particular angle of incidence. Here deviation is minimum. At minimum deviation. At minimum deviation, what will happen? We know that I1 equal to I. We can take it as I. Say. Okay. For any other angle of incidence, if you look, then there will be two angle of incidence. Suppose this is I1, then this is I2. Or this is I1, this is I2. Okay, but for this point, we are getting I1 equal to I2 equal to I. Okay. So if you are asked to draw the diagram, we'll draw the diagram in this way: delta, angle of incidence, I. Then draw this graph and show which point is representing delta minimum. And at delta minimum, what will happen for I1 and I2? Okay. Suppose you are getting question, write the condition from the graph for delta minimum. So we know the two conditions for delta minimum, minimum deviation. First condition is you can see from there that I1 equal to I. Okay, angle of incidence at the first surface is equal to angle of incidence at the second surface, or you can tell angle of emergence. They will be equal at minimum deviation. And second point, the refracted ray inside the prism will be parallel to base. Okay, so these are 2 points. Okay, so this is the complete part of this point, angle of incidence. Okay, factors affecting first point. Now another question I am giving. What will be the delta minimum using that formula? The delta equal to I1 plus I2 minus 8. What will be the formula for delta minimum from that equation? Delta minimum equal to what? I1 plus I2. Now at minimum deviation, I1 equal to I2 equal to I we have taken. So in place of I1, I2 put I, so it will be 2I. So 2I minus. So delta minimum value of or expression, mathematical expression of delta minimum is 2I minus x. Okay, A is what? Angle of prism. That angle between two refracting surfaces. Okay, so this is the first point. Note down all the points and mark in your book. The first one, that first paragraph, everything is written in that first paragraph. Second one is the graph. Okay. Third, these two conditions for delta minimum. And fourth, what will be the mathematical expression for delta minimum. Okay. So these are the few important parts of this point. Okay. So come to the second point. Second point of angle of deviation. Second point of angle of deviation, right? So second point is for next few points. Okay, if you can remember one small formula, that formula is written in your book. Okay, then no need to remember the reason. Okay, for that point. Just at the end of point number 4, just at the end of the point number 4, one star mark is given. Then it is written for small angle of prism A, the angle of deviation. That formula, if you keep in mind, delta equal to mu minus 1 into A. All these proofs are there in class 12. Okay, so we are not going to the proof. If you can remember that formula, then if you can explain the remaining 3 points. Okay, so just I have written at one side. Okay, come to the second point. Second point tells that, what is the second point? The material of prism, or you can tell refractive index. The material of prism, okay, that is refractive index. Okay, so go to that formula. Go to that formula. Okay, no need to remember the reason. No need to remember the expression. If you increase mu, okay, if you keep the other quantities same, A only another quantity is there, angle of prism. If you keep this one same, and if you increase this one mu, then what will happen? Delta will obviously increase, right? So what will be the expression? So delta will increase. Delta will increase with the increase of refractive index. With the increase of refractive index, bus finished. Okay, no need to remember. If you have to remember this one. Okay, so there is in your book there is one sentence at the last of second point. Okay, a flint glass prism produces more deviation than a crown glass. So suppose question is given in this way, that mu flint is given. Okay, mu flint is greater than mu glass. Okay, two prisms are made. Okay, one prism is made up of flint material, another is made up of glass material, and mu flint is greater than mu glass. Okay, if we incident one ray, okay, monochromatic ray, okay, or is given a green ray or red light, okay, at a particular angle of incidence, then in which case, okay, or for which prism the angle of deviation will be more. Okay, so mu flint is greater than mu glass means delta depends on means. Just we have written delta will increase with the increase of refractive index. So flint, for flint refractive index is more. So for flint delta will also be more. Delta for flint is greater than the delta for glass. Provided the angle of prism for both the prisms are same. That means A, and angle of incidence, okay, are same for a monochromatic light. Okay, monochromatic light. Okay, if we do experiment in this way, for flint we are using blue color, for glass we are using red color. Okay, then we cannot explain it properly. For that reason, for both the prism we take same color of light. Okay, we keep angle of prism same, and we keep angle of incidence same. Okay, so this is second point. Come to the third point. For third point also, okay, we can explain using that formula. So third point tells that, what is the third point? Third point tells that angle of prism. Okay, third point, angle of prism. Third point. So third point, angle of prism. Okay, again go to that equation. Angle of prism is this one. Okay, this is the angle of prism. So direct proportion. If we keep mu constant, so delta will increase. Direct proportion means delta will increase with the increase of A. With the increase of A. That means if we increase the angle of prism, then delta will increase. If we increase the angle of prism, then delta will increase. Okay. So all the three expansions are coming from this equation, not the first one. First one we can explain from the graph. Okay, that is the experimental fact. Come to fourth point. Fourth point is dependence of angle of deviation on color or wavelength of light. So color or wavelength of light. Color or wavelength of light. Okay, color or wavelength of light. Again, this point we can explain this point from this one, because we know that color for different colors the refractive index will be different, right? For different colors, refractive index for a particular material will be different. Okay, so we explain this one. So I am explaining in this way. Suppose VGL, VIBGYOR. Just in the second point, we have seen delta will increase with the increase of refractive index. Okay, if we keep A constant, I constant. Okay, so here we know that we know wavelength increases in this direction. Okay, wavelength increases. Wavelength increases. Okay, wavelength increases means it will bend less. It will bend less means refractive index will decrease. So in this direction, what will happen? Refractive index will decrease. Refractive index will decrease means mu for violet will be greater than mu for red. I am writing it here. Mu violet is greater than mu red. Okay, mu violet is greater than mu red. Now refractive index is decreasing. If refractive index decreases, then delta will also decrease in the same direction. That means in the same direction, refractive index is decreasing. In the second point, we had seen that delta increases with the increase of refractive index. Then delta will decrease with the decrease of refractive index. So refractive index will decrease means delta will decrease. Okay, that means if we go in this direction, violet to red, then delta will decrease. Violet to red, then delta will decrease. Mu violet is greater. Mu violet is greater. That means delta violet is greater than delta. Okay, note down this point and mark in your book. All are there in the fourth point. That is delta violet is greater than delta red. Since mu violet is greater than mu red. More refractive index, that means more deviation. Okay, so what we are saying, with the increase of wavelength, angle of deviation decreases, right? We can write it at one place. So here I am writing with the increase of wavelength, delta decreases. Okay, angle of deviation decreases. With the increase of wavelength, delta angle of deviation decreases. So these all are the points or factors affecting the angle of deviation. Okay, and I have explained, okay, in proper way. So you all read, and I hope you have noted down the points from your book. Now come to one question. Okay, just one question. That is question number 2 from your exercise. Okay, question number 2 from your exercise. Okay. Before solving, you all try to solve. Everyone try to solve. Are you trying? Are you trying hard or not? Yes, sir. We are trying hard. Okay. Question number 2. Question number 2. Okay, page 87, exercise 4B. Question number 2. The diagrams A and B, okay, in figure below. So the refraction of a ray of light of single color, okay, through a prism and parallel sided glass slab, respectively. First question in each diagram, label the incident, refracted, emergent rays, and angle of deviation. Okay, so I am drawing it properly. So first one is prism. Give name A, B, C. So this is the thing. Okay, always give the arrow. Okay, then here in the diagram it is given parallel to the base. Okay, draw in that way as it is given parallel to the base. Okay, then it will bend towards the base always. In case of prism, it is always bent towards the base. Now draw the normal at the two surfaces. Draw the normal. Okay, draw the normal. Yes. Okay, drawn. Okay. Now you have to show in question number 1, label the incident, refracted, emergent. So you can write by giving them P, Q, R, S. Give name to the normal N, N prime, and N1, end. After that, at side you write PQ incident ray. Okay, QR refracted ray. Okay, QR is refracted ray, and RS is the emergent ray. RS is the emergent. Okay, okay. So, and you have to show the angle of deviation. Angle of deviation, then just extend it by dotted line. Extend this one also. RS ray in the backward direction. Okay, they will meet at some point. They will meet at some point. This is the angle of deviation. Okay, this one you write here. Angle of deviation. Angle of deviation. Okay, clear? Before erasing, I am telling the second part also for this diagram. In what way the in what way the direction of emergent ray in the two cases differ with respect to the incident ray. And so here, emergent ray and incident ray, they will make one angle. They are not parallel in this case, in case of prism. Okay, so incident ray, this is part B for prism case. Incident ray and emergent ray are not parallel. In this case, it will not be parallel. Okay, because in each refraction, it bends towards the north. Because in each refraction at the two surfaces, it bends towards the north. It bends towards the norm. Okay, done. So in each refraction, it bends towards the north. Okay. So going to the second diagram, that is slab. Second diagram, that is slab. Second diagram, that is slab. So draw a slab, and then in the same way we will write. Okay, as it is given in book. In book it is given the emergent and incident rays, they are parallel. Okay, in that way it is given in your book. So this is incident ray. Then draw normal. Although in this case you don't have to draw the diagrams. Okay, this is the incident ray. You also can draw it, no problem. But this question is very important. Then this is refracted ray inside the glass slab. Draw normal again. Then after refraction at the second surface, the emergent ray is parallel to the incident. Right. This is the angle of incidence. This is angle of emergence R. Okay. Okay, give name PQR. Normal name N prime, N1, N. So for first question, PQ, incident ray. PQ, incident ray. QR, refracted ray, and RS is the emergent ray. Angle of deviation here, PQ and RS, they are parallel. So angle of deviation equal to 0. Parallel means the angle between two parallel rays is 0. Angle of deviation equal to 0 degree. Okay. Then for second part, how the direction, or in what way the direction of emergent ray in the two cases differ with respect to incident ray. So here, emergent ray is parallel to the incident ray. Okay, so here, this whole thing for question number 1. Question number 2, incident ray and emergent ray. Emergent ray are parallel. The emergent ray are parallel. Okay. Now you have to explain your answer. Okay. For which condition they will be parallel? When the surrounding medium is same. Right? When the surrounding medium, because the surrounding medium of what? Of the glass slab. Surrounding medium of glass slab is same. That means in the first medium, this is first medium and this is third medium. Okay, this is second medium. So surrounding medium, first medium and third medium, they are same. That is, you can write it properly. That is in proper language of physics. That is, the surrounding medium has same refractive index. That is same. Surrounding medium has same refractive index. Okay, surrounding medium has same refractive index. Clear? Surrounding medium has same refractive index. Okay, so these all are the way, okay, how to write the answer. And previously we had discussed the 4 factors of the angle of deviation. Okay, so this much for today. Okay, keep on reading. Okay, so I'm ending it here.